Welcome to MCN and the Suzuki SV-7GX. Now, if you're looking for a capable, characterful sports tourer that under-promises and over-delivers, this is the bike for you. And not only that, it's very, very affordable. So in these colours, it costs £7,399. There's also a black version and kind of a grey beige version, which they call greyish. They're all out in August 2026. There's a white version, which costs £6,999, which is fantastic value. And on top of that, Suzuki give you a standard 3-year warranty. And then if you carry on getting your bike serviced at a main dealer, that continues for 10 years. So you got a 10-year warranty on this bike, which is incredible. And all I can say is beat that, China. So essentially, this is a Suzuki SV-650 that's made to be a little bit more comfortable for touring. So it's a sports tourer. You could call it a tall rounder, although it's not necessarily that tall. It shares the same chassis as the SV-650. So you've got a tubular steel frame, you've got a double-sided swinging arm, you've got non-adjustable 41mm forks right way up, you've got a single rear shock, that's adjustable for preload, the forks aren't adjustable at all. You've got 4-piston brakes, just axle mounted, 17-inch wheels, which are now shod with Pirelli Angel GT2 tyres. So very familiar. The only difference with the chassis is it's got a stronger rear subframe because it's designed to take pillions as it was before, also luggage. So you actually get this rack and pillion grab rails as standard. So that's really neat. So that's really it with the chassis. And then the big change really comes with the engine. So it's the same 654cc V-twin we've known and loved in the SV-650 since 1999. That's evolved over the years. It was started off as a carbed engine, then it got fuel injection, then it got twin plugs, and it became cleaner and cleaner. Makes 72 bhp this engine, which is kind of there or thereabouts what it's always made. But now it's Euro 5 plus, and the way they've done that is by fitting ride-by-wire. So it's got ride-by-wire for the first time. That facilitates traction control, an up and down quickshifter, and because it's got an up and down quickshifter, the engine's slightly modified with different gearbox dogs as well to counteract that, a bit stronger. The engine's also got downdraft injectors as well, just to make it run a little bit more cleanly. You've also got traction control, you've got ABS, and you've got quite a neat little 4-inch colour dash, which is kind of small but perfectly formed. Gives you all the information you need. It's got connectivity. It's got a sat-nav on it that you link to your phone. So electronic-wise, it's a little bit more advanced than it was before. So let's talk about what this bike is like as a tourer. And to do that, I'm going to sit on it to give you an idea of the size. So as I've said many times before in videos and road tests, I'm 6 foot tall. So this basically still feels like an SV. It's got a slightly taller seat, 10mm more foam on it, which gives you a little bit more leg room. So it is relatively tight for a tall rider, but we've been riding this bike today for about 6-7 hours. And to be honest, it's been pretty comfortable. I started to get bum ache about 3 or 4 hours in, but nothing major. It's got a really nice stretch to the bars. There's probably, there's enough room for a pillion. So, you know, it's no multi-strada, but it's definitely capable, and you can buy lots of optional luggage for this. And when you've got a tank bag, panniers and a top box, it looks the part. It looks like a tourer. And you can just imagine, you know, coming to somewhere like here in the south of France on holiday on this bike without a problem at all. So the bars are in a good position. Got really clear mirrors that don't vibrate. You've got hand guards as standard. You've got this screen, which is 3-way adjustable on a 50mm range, but you need to adjust it with screws, which is a bit of a pain, but you know, it's a cheap bike. The 1000cc version of this has got the same screen, and that's kind of unforgivable because that bike's a lot more money. You'd want an easier adjustable screen. But I've just left it in its standard position all day. I haven't really fiddled with the bike. I haven't felt the need to from a suspension point of view or the screen point of view, and it's fine. There's a bit of buffeting there, which you're always going to get on a tall bike, but generally it's really comfortable. I mean, this engine is superb. It's as if the SV disappeared for a little while because it didn't adhere to Euro 5 Plus rules. And it's like Suzuki have found this engine again down the back of the sofa and then revitalised it and made this incredible power unit, which is a lot more characterful than a parallel twin. And this kind of harks back to the days when manufacturers had the money to develop interesting engines. So in kind of touring mode, this engine's got a lot of grunt, lots of flexibility, wide range of power. I was a little bit worried that with ride-by-wire, it would make the fueling quite snatchy, and it really doesn't. Picking up a close throttle is really nice and smooth. It's got 3 riding modes now. Even in its A, the sharpest riding mode, it is perfectly smooth. And you can't say that for the bigger GX and a lot of Japanese bikes. They're kind of most sporty riding modes and quite often quite snatchy. So in terms of just grinding out the miles, it is very comfortable. The suspension's obviously non-adjustable, but it's a good compromise of comfort and control. You've got nice grip from the Pirellis and good ride quality. So, you know, it's a really nice place to be. And Suzuki claim, we haven't had a chance to test this, but Suzuki claims 67 mpg. This has got a bigger tank than the SV, 17.4 litres, I think, or 0.6 litres. But if you take Suzuki's word for it, what the mileage is, then you're looking at like 250 miles to the tank. So not only is it cheap to buy, it's going to be cheap to run as well. So we talk a little bit more about its sporty performance. So again, the heart of this bike, its engine is just makes its character. When you rev it hard, it's got a lot of power, 72 bhps, not to be sniffed at. The bike feels quite light, you know, it doesn't struggle at all ever. Almost any gear, any rev, you open the throttle and it goes, but if you work it hard, it really does go. The up and down quickshifter works well, the gearbox is really smooth. On the way up, it's better. With a V-twin or any twin, coming down with a quickshifter, if you're not kind of on it, will always feel quite clunky. So I use the clutch on the way down. But when you're riding fast and use a quickshifter, it really works well. So it's a fast engine and it's a very nicely balanced chassis. I mean, these things are raced in mini twins and super twins, and although they'll have better suspension, the kind of the chassis, they stay the same, and it's really well balanced. It doesn't feel like it really needs any adjustment. It's a really fun bike to ride. The brakes have got loads of bite, loads of power, and it's really, really hard to fault. There is one negative, which I'll talk about at the end, but so far so good. So as a touring bike, it's fantastic. As a sports bike, it's really good fun. The brakes, they've just got ABS. It's not cornering ABS, but they've got lots of feel and power, which is impressive as well. So there's no rough edges when it comes to this bike. And then even the build quality, all the plastics are nice and neat. The build quality is fantastic. The paint finish is beautiful. So not only are you getting a very affordable bike, you're getting one that is well built as well. And just going back to the value, if you look at the rivals of this bike, you could probably say the Triumph Tiger 660 Sport is a rival, but that's more expensive. The Kawasaki Versys 650 is more expensive. The Yamaha Tracer 7 is more expensive. The only Japanese bike really that's the same price is the Honda NX500, and that's obviously a lot less powerful. So fantastic value. So to sum up, recently Suzuki have had a habit of revitalising their old models. That goes from the Hayabusa or the GSX R1000, and they're all brilliant. But I think the SV650 really deserves to be revitalised because it's such a gem of an engine. It's such a simple bike, but such a well thought out, well balanced bike. And for the SV650 to return is just fantastic news. And it's created this sports tourer, which granted is probably more of a weekend away sports tourer than a full-on grand tourer that you're going to take around Europe, but you still could as well. But overall, I'm really impressed. And that one thing I think they could have done, the bike's got ride-by-wire now, and I think it could have had cruise control. And I think cruise control is even more useful nowadays with all the speed limits that we have to face. It's just easier to stick to speed limits with cruise. And then when you're out on the motorway as well, cruise control is fantastic. But that's the only glitch I can find in what otherwise is a fantastic package. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.